welcome you watching the Monday edition of This Is Exclusive with me, Shavan Sen. We tell you why General Asif Munir isn't really telling the people of Pakistan the truth. I wonder why. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we tell you why Field Marshal Asif Munir doesn't want to tell the people of Pakistan how India has basically carried out massive destruction in Pakistan, so much so that they haven't been able to recover from their losses. Visual evidence once again on This Is Exclusive. Not just that, ladies and gentlemen, why the world should actually pull up Pakistan. The collaboration between the Pakistani army and the terror groups, it was known all this while, but tonight on This Is Exclusive, we're going to put out images just 2 days after Operation Sindoor, how helpless Pakistani army had to once again take help of terror groups to fight the war. All this and much more on This Is Exclusive, but up first, let me take you to the headlines we're tracking at this hour. It's the ultimate 35-second video evidence of how India reduced critical Pakistani air bases to rubble on the show tonight. Pahalgam mastermind's top aide seen in Pakistan army uniform near the border. Can Islamabad deny their deep nexus to terrorists anymore? Under Trump fire, India responds with trade review orders to American company Boeing under lets. Top Karnataka Minister K.N. Rajanam resigns after he questions Rahul on voter fraud, claims all-out political face-off breaks out. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan's desperate attempts to whitewash the catastrophic fallout of Operation Sindoor only deepens the shadow of its complicity in fostering terrorism. But the bad news for Islamabad is that the undeniable scars of the strikes shatter their hollow denials. With a brazen narrative of minimal impact, Pakistan's spin doctors have scrambled to dismiss the precision devastating strikes on their air bases, terror camps and military assets. But the smouldering wreckage of Rahim Yar Khan's runway that silenced radars at Chaklala and the obliterated Lashkar-e-Toiba headquarters in Muridke scream a truth too loud to suppress. And tonight we bring you, like always, more evidence, more proof that it will be a while before Pakistan forgets the 23-minute exercise by India on 7th of May. On your screens, we're going to put out exclusive visuals of Rahim Yar Khan Air Base in the aftermath of the strikes. 35-second video is a testament to the damage that has been inflicted by our forces in Pakistan. A runway absolutely crippled and reduced to nothing. This is in a short while from now, the Rahim Yar Khan Air Base as it stands today. But before that, I'm going to first show you the satellite imagery on your screens, the before and after proof that we have seen, and perhaps you have seen this many a times. It clearly goes on to indicate that before, it's a perfectly fine runway of the Rahim Yar Khan and the air defense radar system. And after, obviously, that's the visual imagery that we have on our screens. Now, let's quickly go across to the 35 seconds of this particular. This is exactly how the Rahim Yar Khan Air Base now looks like. Evidence of how India destroyed one of the key installations of the Pakistanis, the runway which was obliterated. So much so, it seems that other third-party countries who have their interest in this particular airport has also felt the stinging response. And that is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, you have Field Marshal Asif Munir going to United States of America and continuing with what many would say warmongering, because perhaps he needs to divert the attention from this, divert the attention from the way Pakistan's key military installations were absolutely obliterated by the 23-minute military exercise that was carried out by India. A precision strike that was carried out, multiple air bases that were also struck, but Rahim Yar Khan Remember, Rahim Yar Khan, which happens to be one of the most significant, important air bases in Pakistan, was obliterated, razed to the ground. What you see on your screen, this huge crater that has been created, which is why multiple NOTAMs have been issued by the Pakistanis, because they are trying to reconstruct. As I understand, even today, remember, it's non-operational, and this is the reason why you have an Asim Munir who's perhaps carrying out a face saver at this point in time, addressing much of what he said in the United States of America for his domestic audience, because somewhere down the line, if at all, Asim Munir, who's basically aiming at taking full control from the civilian administration in Pakistan, needs to continue threatening. And the reason why he's doing this is because, remember, most of his assets, most of the Pakistani assets, the details of which I'm going to put out in a short while from now, are going to make it abundantly clear as to what was the purpose of Field Marshal Asim Munir's visit to United States of America, and why exactly he's making all the efforts to try and save the face for the Pakistani army. Now, let's get you more sensational details on Operation Sindoor. Ladies and gentlemen, the details that we're getting to you tonight on this is exclusive details of Operation Sindoor, how exactly it was carried out, and within few minutes, what was really obliterated. Pakistan's military was left reeling from Operation Sindoor that obliterated key assets and exposed their vulnerabilities with surgical precision. Let's begin with the 10th of May. A strike on Chaklala Airbase's hangar destroyed a C-130 Hercules VVIP transport aircraft. Simultaneously, the attack also crippled Northern PAF command and control network, leaving it in blind for about a couple of minutes. In Jacobabad, 2 of F-16s were reduced to wreckage. Indian Army's M777 howitzers pounded Pakistani posts near the LOC abandoned by the fleeing troops. Adding to the carnage was the S-400 missile system, which the IAF chief has described as the game changer, and which shot down a wide-bodied aircraft near the Indo-Pakistan border in Pakistan's Punjab. These are some of the details. We're going to go through all the plates that we have right now, specific details that we have. On the 10th of May, C-130 Hercules aircraft hangar at Chaklala Airbase was struck by the forces. 2 F-16 fighter jets was also destroyed at Jacobabad Airbase. That was on the 10th of May. Northern PAF command and control network was taken down after the Chaklala attack. And the M777 howitzers were used to target Pakistani posts near the LOC. Now, S-400 missile shot down wide-bodied Pakistan aircraft near the border, that was at the Punjab border. We're going to take you through some of the other details that we also have right now with regards to what really happened on 10th of May. These are specific details that we have now got of the operation itself. Let's now take you through how exactly the terrorist camps were basically attacked. And we have now got specific details of how we did that. 2 of the F-16 fighter jets damaged in the strikes in the Pakistani air bases. Now, what's important to point out here, in Jacobabad, which happens to be one of their main air bases, F-16s partially was damaged. SQ-9 fire unit radar at Chaklala, Chinese LY-80 fire radar, and 2 US-made tracking radars were destroyed. Let's move on. 19 BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles at the Pakistani air bases. So we now have confirmation, specific details that 19 BrahMos missiles were actually fired. French Scalp cruise missiles that were used in the precision strikes, we are given to understand that the Scalp missiles were basically used to target the Lashkar-e-Toiba headquarters. Muridke headquarters was also hit by a crystal maze missile, not one, multiple missiles that were basically fired, and this was at the Muridke headquarters. Bahawalpur's Jaish facility was struck by the Scalp missiles, that's the French missiles that were basically used. In fact, Rafales were also used for this. M77 howitzers obliterated the Tier 2 defenses along the LOC. What we are given to understand is because of the Indian Army's howitzers. You've had the Pakistanis actually leaving their own posts and moving out. I'm going to go back to the 35-second video while I'm going to also bring in my colleagues Ishan as well as Gursimran joining us on this broadcast while we take you through the details of it. Let me have Ishan and Gursimran on the screens right now as we put this video. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. It's a special edition of This is the Exclusive where we are getting minute-to-minute details of what really happened in Pakistan during Operation Sindoor. And what's the context? The context is this. Field Marshal Asim Munir is completely embarrassed. And that is the reason why when he goes to United States of America, he perhaps wants to address his own audience, the audience that he's hoping would come and support him. Ishan, first to you with regards to this 35-second video that has been accessed by Republic TV, which goes on to indicate that Rahim Yar Khan Airbase has been completely obliterated, and even till date, the reconstruction hasn't taken place.
Shawan, the video clearly shows damage to the runway of Rahim Yar Khan Airbase. This is damage sustained from the BrahMos missile. It shows the crater in the middle of the runway. We had also seen the Pakistani military issue emergency military engineering work orders to conduct repairs of these bases, but these bases are not yet operational and the damage sustained by these bases were extensive. Furthermore, we had seen that Yusuf, who is the bodyguard of Yusuf, who is the elite designated terrorist bodyguard of the mastermind of the Pahalgam attacks, was seen in army uniform recently, and this shows the collaboration between the military and the establishment of Pakistan with the terrorist forces against India and giving them utmost support in planning and executing the operations against India.
Ishan, I'll request you to stay on with us as my colleague Gursimran is joining us on this broadcast. Gursimran, I've got specific details now from top sources with regards to how many missiles were actually fired. 19 BrahMos missiles fired. Power of the scalp missiles that we're putting out, this was basically used now to target the Lashkar-e-Toiba headquarters, Murid-K, and I'm sorry, there was Bahawalpur where this was actually used, and it turns out that the destruction that has taken place thereafter. Gursimran, first to you with regards to the 35 seconds video that Republic TV has accessed and specific details of Crystal Maze, Scalp and BrahMos missiles that was used for Operation Sindoor.
Shawan, the 35-second video that has been accessed by Republic clearly shows a big crater in the middle of the Rahim Yar Khan. And this was done by the BrahMos, and it was very clear, it was very evident that this all was done in the pre-planning, the visit of the Army Chief to the Northern Command of the Indian Army, 3 days post the Pahalgam terror attack. Everything was being finalized because 7 out of the 9 targets were taken from the Northern Command area only. So it was pre-decided that what will be hit at what intensity, because earlier in the first strikes, the first set of strikes, it was only at the headquarters of the terror groups and also their main bases that the India hit. 21 bases identified, 9 bases hit by India. But when Pakistan tried to escalate, India hit in a manner that Pakistan actually failed to overcome that even now, because the crater in the Rahim Yar Khan, it is beyond the repair, and that's why we have seen the emergency tenders that were floated by the Pakistan. Everything went for nothing, because no one turned up to actually have the repair of this one, because the intensity of the strike was so much that Rahim Yar Khan became non-operational, and non-operational in such a manner that it's been more than 90 days of the Indian strikes on the Rahim Yar Khan, and it is still what the Pakistan is struggling, that how to make this air base operational. So this was the power of BrahMos, and like you have mentioned, that the way it has been planned and executed, it actually showed the might of the Indian armed forces.
Well, Gursimran, I'll request you to stay on with us. I'll just quickly recap for all our viewers who are tuning in right now, the big breaking news coming in on This is Exclusive tonight. The 35-second video of Rahim Yar Khan Airbase, a key military installation of the Pakistanis that was completely obliterated. In fact, now we've got specific details of what really happened on 10th of May, when it turns out that key command and control center of the Pakistani Air Force went into a complete blind now for a couple of minutes soon after the attack took place at Chaklala. C-130 Hercules transport aircraft that was damaged, 2 F-16 fighter jets that have been destroyed at the Jacobabad Airbase. Northern PAF command and control network was taken down after the Chaklala attack. And what we are also given to understand is that Pakistani assets that were obliterated and the Pakistani posts from where the troops had already moved out. Well, in fact, let's now go to take you through other details that we are getting in right now. In fact, the two coming together. Our next breaking basically shows you what was unfolding just 2 days after Operation Sindoor was actually launched. How terror state Pakistan in complete panic moved top Lashkar-e-Toiba commanders near the border to assist the Munir army. They scrambled to deploy terrorists to the line of control by 9th of May, as captured in the chilling photographs from Hajira post. The desperate move orchestrated under the Pakistan's army's strategic directive saw Lashkar terrorists positioned along the line of control. Now, this was as part of Operation Bunyan-ul-Marsus that was launched on 10th of May. Visual evidence from 9th of May reveals Pakistan's frantic bid to reinforce its crumbling defenses, exposing the deep collusion that was between its military and terrorist networks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to put out images just 2 days after the operation. After Operation Sindoor, you have a completely rattled Pakistani army going back to their leaders, that is the Lashkar-e-Toiba as well as the Jaish-e-Mohammed. On your screens right now, designated Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist who was actually spotted at the Hajira post, at the Pakistani post, was actually wearing a Pakistani uniform and carried out the attack, the retaliation, the counter-retaliation with Lashkar-e-Toiba as well as Jaish-e-Mohammed being together, coming in handy for the Pakistani army. So we are putting out full details of a terrorist who was spotted wearing, can we also quickly move around with the pictures? We have on your screen, this is Saifullah, who is actually seen right now on your screens. There is also a video which we haven't, we've just put out. These are videos that we have also accessed. This was the movement that actually took place. Now, top military intelligence sources have now confirmed to Republic TV the very fact that the Pakistani army has always been using these terror groups to their advantage. And to fight India, they had no other way but to actually resort to some sort of a help to really come in from the Lashkar-e-Toiba as well as Jaish-e-Mohammed. In fact, what you see right now is these are visuals from the Hajira post, which has been accessed by Republic TV, and we are putting out full details after multiple checks that we have found out that they were essentially being used primarily to carry out their counter strike. Let me also bring in my colleague Ishan as well as Gursimran. Gursimran getting us the latest details. Gursimran, we have, after multiple checks, we are now finally putting out the full video. We are putting out the pictures. First, explain it to our viewers that this is just 2 days after Operation Sindoor. So you have a completely rattled Pakistanis resorting to some sort of a help coming in from the Lashkar-e-Toiba.
Yes, Chavan, it was 2 days after the India's Operation Sindoor was launched, because it was on the early hours of the 7th of May that India launched the Operation Sindoor and decimated the terror infrastructure of Pakistan. It was but obvious that the Pakistani terror commanders will be on the run, and so that happened. But what turns out to be that it was the Pakistani terror groups that were actually providing a refueling or an additional support to the Pakistani army. A day prior to the launch of Pakistan's Operation Bunyan-ul-Marsus, Pakistan had the Lashkar-e-Toiba, the US designated terrorist in their forward launch places. This is opposite to the Poonch line of control. It is Hajira where this deployment was done, and the name of the terror commander is Yusuf, who happens to be the security detail officer, a PSO of the mastermind of Pahalgam terror attack, Saifullah Kasuri. He was seen there not only once but multiple photographs have been circulated in the internal groups of Lashkar-e-Toiba stating that see how our Mujahideens, what they call their terrorists, they are on the active line of the duty. He was seen in the forward post of the Pakistan army that was ready to retaliate to India, and which they actually did when India carried out the strikes at the Pakistani army locations. They tried to retaliate, but it was given a befitting reply. But Pakistan was all prepared, not only with their army, but also with their terror groups, and it was before the launch of the Operation Bunyanul Masroor. So terror groups were well aware that Pakistan is going to launch an operation on India a day prior, and that's why they were sent to the forward locations on the line of control, Shavan.
Well, in fact, Ishan, let me also bring you in while we stay with these pictures. Gursubran getting us that big exclusive right now. We have got two huge breakings that we have got tonight on This Is Exclusive. First, the 35-second video of the Rahim Yar Khan base, which once again goes on to indicate why Field Marshal Asim Munir is completely rattled. And this comes just days after Indian Air Force Air Marshal AP Singh, Air Chief Marshal AP Singh, making it very clear that at least 5 of Pakistani aircrafts were brought down. And one of the longest strike that was basically carried out, a surface-to-air missile that was used to bring down one wide-bodied aircraft. In fact, let me just go back to the pictures of the Pakistani terrorists from the post, Hajira post, that has been accessed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take you through one more breaking news now coming in. Now, this is a massive revelation on Pakistan's complicity. Pakistan's complicity in getting in touch with several of these terror groups. In fact, it turns out that there was a close coordination between Pakistan's army as well as the Lashkar-e-Toiba. The UN-designated Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist Yusuf, who happens to be the bodyguard of Pahalgam attack mastermind Saifullah Kasuri, was spotted wearing a Pakistani army uniform at a forward post during Operation Sindoor. In fact, sources have confirmed that Yusuf, resident of Punjab province, was seen alongside Pakistani troops on the line of control on 9th of May. On your screens right now, these are latest images that we have accessed of top aide of Saifullah Kasuri, who was seen near the LOC. In fact, Saifullah Kasuri actually helped the Pakistani army to carry out a counter-strike. That's the latest details coming in. A quick word, Gursibran, with regards to the fact that the terrorists who were present there helped the Pakistani army, and the fact that the Pakistani army perhaps was also leaving their designated posts after India started using the M777 howitzers.
Yes, Yavan, it is very clear that from 22nd of April to the 10th of May, it was the Saifullah Kasuri who was hand in glove with the Pakistan army, starting from the Pahalgam terror attack to the Pakistan's retaliation, which they planned but completely failed, and have to come down on knees asking the DGMOs to speak so that there can be ceasefire. That is the Operation Bunyanul Masroor. But now the pictures that have come forth, wherein the bodyguard of Saifullah Kasuri can be seen in the forward post wearing the Pakistani army uniform, that is very clear that the Pakistan knew that India is going to retaliate badly, and that's why they went away. And it is the Lashkar cadre that took the place of the Pakistani regulars. That has been the point, because Pakistan's army has been actively supporting these terrorists when it comes to the infiltration, when it comes to launching attacks on India. But leaving the post for the Pakistani terrorists, that is very clear that what was actually how they were operating jointly when it comes to the Pakistani army and the terror group Lashkar-e-Toiba post-Pahalgam attack as well, because prior to the Pahalgam attack, they were actually planning how to carry out the Pahalgam, but post also they were hand in glove and were carrying out the plans against the India.
Gursibran and Ishan. Gursibran and Ishan, thank you very much. A powerful edition of This Is Exclusive. We have now brought you full evidence of how our armed forces carried out one of the finest military operation. And for those who have been questioning our armed forces, they must think twice. When we have put out the evidence, it is very clear that it was one of the most successful operation ever carried out by the Indian Armed Forces. That's all that we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. Coming up, trending with my colleague Akanksha.
Amity is proud to announce the commencement of its 12th university in India, Amity University, Hyderabad. At the prime location of AeroCity Hyderabad Airport, has a strong focus on high-end research with brilliant students and distinguished faculty who share our mission to change the world together. To apply for this year's session, visit amity.edu/Hyderabad.
जब मुंबई से वापस कोल्हापुर शिफ्ट हुआ तो सबने कहा कि ड्रीम सिटी को छोड़ रहा है। ड्रीम सिटी, मैंने कहा ड्रीम में तो यही गलियां आती। तो जब ये रियलाइज हुआ कि कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए बड़े शहर में रहने की जरूरत नहीं, तब लगा कि लाइफ में ग्रो किया।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा प्योर मसाला।
What makes you a legend? Maybe that you're followed by everyone. Maybe that you follow no one. Maybe both. 10 years of Creta, legend forever.
India has successfully completed trials of its indigenously developed Zorawar light tank, a platform purpose-built for high-altitude warfare where traditional heavy armor struggles. Developed jointly by DRDO and Larsen & Toubro, the 25-ton tank is powered by a high-output Cummins diesel engine, delivering close to 40 horsepower per ton, critical for operating in oxygen-thin mountain air. Its primary armament is a 105mm Cockerel rifled gun integrated into a modern turret, capable of firing both kinetic rounds and anti-tank guided missiles. Supporting this,
माय बर्थडे गिफ्ट टू पापा। ये उनके पापा की पहली गाड़ी एक गैराज में पड़ी थी दार्जिलिंग में। जब इसे फाइनली घर लाया ना, तब लगा लाइफ में ग्रो किया। बुलाओ।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना। अपने देश का सामान, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना।
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
India has successfully completed trials of its indigenously developed Zorawar light tank, a platform purpose-built for high-altitude warfare where traditional heavy armor
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
From your smartphones to your smart televisions, trending stories are breaking the internet, and tonight we are keeping our focus on Pakistan's hollow nuclear threat to India and the strong response that is coming from our country that we will not give in to such a blackmail. And next we'll show you the wild chase, a terrifying moment when an elephant charged at the tourists, and then to a heartwarming video of a Kargil war veteran honored mid-air. And in fact, he will also join us live on this broadcast, and we'll speak to him about what happened mid-air. And then to the United States, where US President Donald Trump moved portrait of Obama and Bush to a less prominent place, and many are asking and calling this an insecure move. And then to the national capital, where Tesla has opened up a new showroom, a second one after one in Mumbai. And lastly, Roger Federer is back. He has announced a stunning return at Shanghai Masters 2025. This is trending, and I'm Akanksha Khajuria. Let's get started. Well, it seems that Asim Munir and his nation has not learned any lessons after India hammered them during Operation Sindoor, and now in an alarming escalation. In fact, Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir has issued an open threat to target Indian infra and even raised the spectre of the nuclear conflict. He warned of destroying any dam built by India that could impact water flow to Pakistan with 10 missiles, is what he has said. Munir also issued a sweeping nuclear warning, declaring that if Pakistan goes down, it will take half the world down with it. India has meanwhile issued a very strong statement to Pakistan, claiming that they will not give in to the nuclear threat that has been given by Pakistan and will not pay heed to his threats. MEA, that is Ministry of External Affairs, has also expressed disappointment over the fact that this comment was made from a third country, which it considered as a close friend. And this is what India has alluded to, and this is in fact the United States what India is talking about. To our guest, Lieutenant General Rajendra Singh. Thanks so much, sir, for speaking to Republic TV. The first time Asim Munir went to United States, then he, in fact, nominated Donald Trump for the Peace Prize. And this time when he went, he gave a nuclear threat to India. But a very strong response coming in from India that we will not give in to these nuclear blackmail. How would you read into this?
Yeah, firstly, I think as far as Asim Munir's statements are concerned, they must be viewed in the light of the following things. First and foremost is that it has emboldened him because of the recent tilt of the United States against India. That is one. The second part was that it feels that he can get away with it. And he has done the unthinkable, that is, by repeating this nuclear threat on the soil of United States of America. And the third and the most important is that he is actually playing to the hardliners in his own country. And as far as India's response is concerned, India firstly has never threatened any other nation by nuclear strike. So the statement by the Pakistani army chief to say that they will take half the world down along with them is, I think, totally out of tune. The second point is that as far as India's response is concerned, it is firm, it is clear, and it conveys a message not only to Pakistan, it also conveys a subtle message to the United States of America, whose soil has been used by this gentleman to issue totally irresponsible statements. Another point which we need to bear in mind is that he was actually speaking on a farewell ceremony of the CENTCOM chief. So basically, it seems that his relationship with CENTCOM chief has been very, very good. And that is the reason why he ensured that Pakistan decorates him with the highest honor, which is applicable to a foreign national. Now, in this background, he thought that the best thing to do will be to go again to United States, issue out a threat like this, and show that that their country is actually right in the forefront. It is also because he has to justify to his own people the kind of beating that the Pakistan Army and the Pakistan Air Force has taken in the recent operations of Operation Sindoor, in which the total air assets of the Pakistani Air Force were destroyed on the night of 10th. And that was the reason which compelled Pakistan to seek for ceasefire at the earliest. I think this is yet one more action by him to really appease his domestic audience. It is also yet one more effort by him to really send a message to the world and to the Western world particularly, that Pakistan is not only a nuclear state, it is an irresponsible nuclear state, which can really do anything. But I think their nuclear bluff had already been called. And last time that when our armed forces had struck their 9 targets of the terrorists, their nuclear bluff was totally called. And I think as far as India is concerned, our response has already been given. We should not pay too much attention to such kind of statements by a fellow like him, who's totally irresponsible.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right, sir. Asim Muni's nuclear bluff has been called out. India is not taking it very seriously because these are the hollow threats by Asim Muni. Thanks so much for your time and for speaking to Republic TV on this. Now, we're shifting our focus. A shocking video that has come to the fore from Karnataka's Bandipura Tiger Reserve that has gone viral on social media, capturing the terrifying moment. A wild elephant charged at a tourist from Kerala. The tourist was pinned under the elephant's foot for a few seconds before making a miraculous escape with grievous injuries, and those are the visuals that you can see on the screen. Companions rushed to save the injured man, and he was taken to the hospital as the forest officials have also launched a probe to identify him. Authorities say that the attack happened after strict reserve rules were broken. Warnings were in fact ignored by this person. He was feeding the wildlife, leaving vehicles. All these guidelines were ignored by him. The elephant reportedly chased after him before the brutal attack, turning a tourist's thrill into a near-fatal nightmare. let's show you another video. Panic struck Lachhiwala Toll Plaza on Dehradun-Haridwar Highway when a wild elephant suddenly appeared and attacked our car. The visuals of that are on your screen, and fortunately the occupants of this vehicle that you can see narrowly escaped without any injuries. The unexpected incident caused chaos and disruption on the busy highway for several minutes before the situation was brought under control. And meanwhile, what we're learning is that another CCTV footage has captured a rare and startling moment when a man and a tiger suddenly came face to face, and the encounter took place unexpectedly, leaving both the man and the tiger visibly scared. So we'll be showing you those visuals, this one from Dehradun and another one of a face-off between a man and a tiger. And now look at this CCTV footage that has gone viral on social media, capturing a rare and startling moment where a man and a tiger suddenly came face to face. The encounter took place and unexpectedly is what we're learning, leaving both the man and the tiger visibly scared. Those are the visuals of that encounter on the screen. And now shifting our focus to another stories from the skies. At 35,000 feet above the ground, an Indigo flight turned into a flying tribute to one of the most, in fact, India's real-life heroes. Kargil War veteran Nayak Deep Chand was honored mid-air as the cabin crew acknowledged his courage and sacrifice during one of our nation's most defining battles. The announcement drew spontaneous applause and standing ovation from passengers, many visibly moved by his quiet dignity. It was not just a ceremony, it was a soaring reminder that real heroes don't wear capes, they wear uniforms, they carry the nation's pride wherever they go, and the nation will never forget their contribution and sacrifices.
I've just been informed that we have a very special guest on board with us today, and it is my honor and pleasure to introduce him. Seated on seat 1 Echo is Kargil War hero Nayak Deep Chand. In the defense of our nation, he lost 3 of his limbs in the Operation Parakram, and yet his spirit remains strong and he proudly soldiers on, inspiring the rest of us to give our absolute best for our nation. Let's all bring our hands together and thank him for everything that he has done for us. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
In fact, I'm joined by Nayak Deep Chand, the man of the hour. Thank you so much for speaking to Republic TV, and thank you so much for your contribution to the nation. आपने बहुत कुछ किया है देश के लिए. सबसे पहले मैं आपका रिएक्शन जानना चाहूंगी. जब आप उस फ्लाइट में थे, आप ये सब सुन रहे थे, हम देख पा रहे हैं कि आपके मुंह पे एक स्माइल थी. क्या कुछ फील कर रहे थे उस मोमेंट में आप?
सबसे पहले तो मैं सभी दर्शकों को जय हिंद बोलता हूँ और धन्यवाद बोलता हूँ आप लोगों का भी कि आप लोगों ने भी एक रियल कहानी लेकर के आए हैं. फीलिंग ये था मैम कि ये सम्मान जो हुआ है, मेरे को कोई गैलेंट्री वार्ड नहीं है, मगर जो ये सम्मान मिला है गैलेंट्री वार्ड से बड़ा सम्मान था. इतनी 1000 फीट की हाइट के ऊपर भी जो एयरलाइंस ने मुझे सम्मान दिया है, तो मैं धन्यवाद बोलता हूँ. मतलब और बहुत एक अलग फीलिंग आती थी कि देखो आज वर्दी है तो सब कुछ है, देश के लिए कुछ किया है, तो आज देखो सम्मान है. गीता में लिखा हुआ था कि कर्म करो, फल की चिंता मत करो. तो आज सबसे बड़ा पल आपके सामने ही है. मतलब आज का सोशल मीडिया का जमाना है और सोशल मीडिया के, क्योंकि हम सैनिक हैं, गुमनाम की जिंदगी जीते हैं, मगर एक रियल पर्दे के ऊपर लेके आना तो वो काबिले तारीफ है मैम. जो हमने कार्य किए हैं वो आप जैसे टीवी के माध्यम से जनता तक पहुंच रहे हैं, तो बहुत प्राउडनेस महसूस होता है. मेरी उनको 1889 मिसाइल रेजिमेंट कारगिल थी और अभी भी है ही, मगर बड़ा एक प्राउडनेस आता है. मैं मेरे कमांडिंग ऑफिसर को भी फोन किया, कर्नल गिरीश कुमार मेहंदी रत्ता को भी, कि सर आज बहुत सम्मान मिला है, ये हमारे लिए बहुत प्राउड की बात है, भारतीय सेना के लिए प्राउड की बात है ये. और मैं चाहता हूँ कि ये सीख सभी सैनिकों को सम्मान मिलना चाहिए. जरूरी नहीं कि युद्ध हो या 26 जनवरी हो या कारगिल विजय दिवस हो तभी सम्मान मिले, हमेशा सैनिक फॉर्म में रहते हैं। आज भी भले ही मेरी कंडीशन है, दोनों टांगे नहीं है, हाथ नहीं है, मगर आज भी हर कदम इस राष्ट्र को समर्पित है और बहुत अपने आप को प्राउडनेस महसूस करते हैं कि भाई कम से कम हम इस भारत भूमि के अंदर पैदा हुए हैं और इस राष्ट्र के लिए कुछ न कुछ करके जाएंगे। मैं
और आपके कंट्रीब्यूशन के लिए सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। हमें बहुत खुशी हुई आपकी वो वीडियो भी देख के। हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद। Now we're shifting our focus. The Trump-Obama saga has taken a fresh twist inside the White House walls in a fresh breaking tradition. In fact, President Donald Trump has ordered the portrait of Obama and Bush to be shifted from the prime display to a restricted area atop the grand staircase, far from the public eye. And this is the catch, in fact, and this is a dramatic departure from the long-standing protocol, which places recent president's portraits at the main entrance for visiting dignitaries and the guests to see. And critics are calling the move petty and insecure, while Donald Trump supporters say that it's about putting past president in their own place. From rearranging decor to rewriting the tradition, the Trump-Obama rivalry is now etched not just in politics but in the very frame on the White House walls. And now the next stop is the national capital. Tesla is charging up its India drive-by, opening its second showroom here in the national capital just weeks after its debut in Mumbai's Bandra Kurla complex. And we showed you those visuals as well. This marks the EV giant's formal entry into the world's third largest auto market, rolling out the Model Y SUV as its first offering. They are priced, in fact, at 60 lakh for the standard version and 68 lakh for the long-range variant. The Model Y will come in 6 colors, 2 interior trims and a host of premium add-ons, including Tesla's full self-driving package as well. And now tennis great is making a grand return to the court. Roger Federer is set to grace the 2025 Shanghai Masters. The 20-time Grand Slam champion will play in the Roger and Friends celebrity doubles event on October 10th. And that is the date everyone will be waiting for. It's a unique mix of sports and showbiz, with Federer teaming up alongside big names like Chinese actor Wu Li, action star Donnie Yen, and two-time Grand Slam double champion Zheng Jie as well. Listen into what he said.
It's Roger, and I'm really happy to be returning to Xisong Stadium in Shanghai for the Rolex Shanghai Masters. Shanghai has always been a special place for me, with great fans, unforgettable memories, and a real love for the game. I look forward to seeing you there on October 10th. Shanghai, let's meet. Allah Shanghai Way.
Let me go across to my colleague Himanshu, who joins us live from the Republic TV newsroom. Himanshu, do tell us more about this match that is going to take place on October 10th. But keeping everything aside, the fans are happy that finally Roger Federer is back. Give us more details.
Well, Akansha, this is a huge news for tennis world. Roger Federer is not just a name. He has got 20 Grand Slam wins under his belt, 8 Wimbledon, and this probably is a moment entire tennis world will look forward to. It's like return of Muhammad Ali or George Foreman on the tennis field. And remember, now he is up against Rafael Nadal. The rivalry probably is the biggest crowd puller in tennis world, and this at a time when tennis stardom, probably you have Alcaraz and you have Sinners, but there's no such name as Federer. And he brings in a unique blend of aggression and professionalism, and his calm and composed manner. That is how he has won hearts, tennis world's hearts, for around 20 years. So probably the greatest ever return in Shanghai Rolex Shanghai Masters, Akanksha.
Absolutely, this is big. Roger Federer is back. Keep tracking those details. We'll keep coming back to you for more on this. And now shifting our focus hot off the plate and straight to your television screens. These are the top trending stories of the day. Have a look. In Bengaluru, a young boy narrowly escaped an attack by a stray dog. The CCTV footage that you can see on the screen shows that the boy threw stones at the dog, which triggered the animal to chase him. The boy ran in fear and fell, but luckily the dog ran away as people appeared nearby. The child was not injured. And a van driver had a close call to death but escaped luckily after a speeding train smashed into his vehicle. In fact, the van that you can see on the screen was at a level crossing in the Polish village. The whole incident was caught entirely on camera. And now look at this video that has gone viral on social media after, in fact, a herd of wild boars hit the scooter that a woman was driving. The incident took place in Trivandrum. An injured person, her name is Nissa. She was admitted to the medical hospital. Astronomers have unveiled a cosmic titan that may be the most massive black hole ever detected. It resides in the heart of one of the largest known galaxies, nicknamed as Cosmic Horseshoe. The distance from Earth is about 5 billion light years. It weighs 36 billion times the mass of our sun. A delivery worker in Hyderabad named Syed Farhan almost drowned after falling into an open drainage. We are learning that he was on active delivery duty during the heavy rainfall. His bike and mobile phone swept away in the flood waters. The visuals of that are on your screen. And this is all we could pack for you in this bulletin of trending. We'll be back tomorrow with much more stories. Till then, keep watching Republic TV. And on the other side will be the debate with Arnab Goswami. Stay tuned.
Amity is proud to announce the commencement of its 12th university in India, Amity University, Hyderabad. At the prime location of AeroCity Hyderabad Airport, has a strong focus on high-end research with brilliant students and distinguished faculty who share our mission to change the world together. To apply for this year's session, visit amity.edu/Hyderabad.
जब मुंबई से वापस कोल्हापुर शिफ्ट हुआ तो सबने कहा कि ड्रीम सिटी को छोड़ रहा है। ड्रीम सिटी। मैंने कहा ड्रीम में तो यही गलियां आती। तो जब ये रियलाइज हुआ कि कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए बड़े शहर में रहने की जरूरत नहीं, तब लगा कि लाइफ में ग्रो किया।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना, अपने देश का सामान, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप, MDH का जल जीरा जीरा सिप जीरा सिप, MDH का जल जीरा जीरा सिप। Play it your way. Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
और अगर हमारा एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ेगा, इकोनॉमी और ग्रोथ रेट बढ़ेगा, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि हमें किसी के पास जाना पड़ेगा। आज जो दादागिरी करते इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि वो आर्थिक दृष्टि से संपन्न है। दादागिरी इसलिए करते हैं कि उनके पास टेक्नोलॉजी है। अगर उनसे अच्छी टेक्नोलॉजी और रिसोर्सेज हमारे पास आएंगे तो हमें दादागिरी नहीं करनी है। हमारी संस्कृति ये कहती है कि विश्व का कल्याण हो।
कुछ लोग हैं जो भारत के का विकास जितनी तेजी के साथ हो रहा है उन्हें रास नहीं आ रहा है, उन्हें अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है। सबके बास तो हम हैं, भारत कैसे इतनी तेजी के साथ बढ़ रहा है। लेकिन बहनों भाइयों,